channel. On today's episode, we're learning how to make this beautiful corset top, how to get the cup, the sleeve, the length and everything. So let's get to business. So basically, I have drafted the basic body measurement, the chest line, breast point, the full length and everything. So we are going to be using a cup 40. The breast of the person is, the bust of the person is 38. So you're going to add 2 inches to the measurement to get the cup of the person. So on the side, I've measured 1/4 inch down. So I'm just showing you that 1/4 inch. Then you're going to rule a line, straight line down, because that's where we are going to be placing our breast cup. Don't forget 1/4 inch. You can use 1/2 inch, but I love 1/4 inch. And you're going to place your cup, but depending on how you want your corset to be deep. So I'm going to be using 9 for the depth, and I'm going to be placing my cup in that point where I marked, and I'm going to be tracing it with my marker. So I'll just trace it round. Then after tracing round, then I'm going to add 1/2 inch round it. 1/2 inch round. You just mark it the way I am marking it and trace the points together before you even start cutting. So you just trace your 1/2 inch, join the point, then cut it out. So I just finished tracing it. So now we are going to cut out the body. So in case you are going to be using like a yoke on your clothes, you can use this pattern to get the length of your yoke you're going to be using. But on this style, no yoke is going to be there. It's just a simple corset top with a puff sleeve. So you just cut out the cup side carefully so that you don't mistakenly cut it out. So carefully cut it out, and you'll be using this pattern to place on your material, on the fabric you're going to be using. So guys, I have cut it out. So I'm just going to be cutting out the back of this top. I'll be cutting it out, but firstly I'll be using this pattern to trace it on our back to get an accurate measurement. So I just got a plain sheet that I'll be placing this body on to get our back. So you're just basically going to trace it to get the length. And when you trace it out, you take out the slant out, because there's not going to be a zip on it. It's going to be a lace back. So you're going to take out your slant. I take out 1/2 inch at the upside, and at the down I take out 1 inch, which I'm going to be showing on the video. So I'm just basically tracing it to get an accurate length. So guys, I've done it. So I just indicated the up and the down. If you notice, the side is slanted. Like I told you, I took out 1/2 inch up and 1 inch down. Then trace it, you get the slanted pattern. So I'm going to be tracing this on my fabric. So I'm just going to be tracing. I'm getting the pattern for the front and the back on this fabric. So I'm just trying to place it well. Then I'm going to cut it out, both for the front and also for the back. So guys, we just finished cutting the pattern for the front and the back. So now we are going to be lining our cup. I'm going to be using the fabric to line our cup. So I'm just basically going to measure my cup, the length and the width of the cup to know what I'm going to cut out to lining it. So I'm going to be using the width of 6 and a length of 10. So I'm basically going to break it into 4 because we need 4 to line it because we're going to be joining it. So you get your midpoint actually. You get the midpoint. Then from the edge you take out 1 inch. Take out 1 inch and connect it back to your midpoint. So I'm just going to be cutting 1 inch, connect it back to the midpoint on both edges. So depending on the cup you're using, you just measure the length and the width of the cup and get the midpoint. Take out 1 inch on the tip and at the end. So what we are going to be doing is that we are just going to be joining the mouth of this pattern then before we use it to cover the cup. So guys, I have done the facing of one of the cup, so we are just going to be repeating the same process for the second cup. So I'm going to be showing how I did it. So like I said earlier, you're going to run a stitch at the mouth of your fabric that you're using to face it. So I'm just going to be pinning it to show you guys where we are running the stitch, and I'm going to take it to my machine to just sew the stitch, then come back to show you guys how I did this cup. So this place where I'm putting the pin is where you're going to run a stitch on, but you know the front will be facing the front, so don't make a mistake. So you're going to run in the stitch from the back. So when you run the stitch, this is how it's going to be. When you run the stitch, this is how it's going to be, then you thumb stitch it. So I'm just going to go to the machine, run the stitch and come back to show you guys how it came out. So basically you're just going to notch the midpoint of every point of your cup, both the up and the down. So you just notch the midpoint of the cup. So I'm just showing, like, get the midpoint for both points, both the down and the up. Get the midpoint firstly, because that's how you know how to place your clothes on it. So I'm just going to run the stitch, thumb stitch, then come back to show you guys how we are going to be facing our cup. So guys, I have run the stitch and also thumb stitch that line. So now we are going to be placing this on our cup. Then I'm going to just basically use a pin to hold it firmly, place it properly so that there won't be any excesses on the cup, just like the way I'm doing it. So you're just going to be using your bias on this line. You're going to be using the bias to cover the midpoint and also run a stitch down. So I'm going to be doing that, then bring it back. Okay guys, so I have basically put the bias on the middle and at the center of it. So I'm going to be placing the cup. Don't forget to notch it, so use your pin to hold it down and hold it on both edge and also hold everywhere so that it will be firm on the body. out any excesses. So just use your needle just the way I'm doing it to pin every point down. So after doing that, you're just going to go to your machine and sew it round and cut out every other excesses that's going to be on the clothes. So just pinning. So this is how it looks like. So we are just going to run a stitch round. So I'll run the stitch and bring it back to show you guys how it's going to come out. Okay guys, so I've basically run the stitch and I have cut out the excesses. So you see we are getting the process of how we did the first cup. So now we are going to be lining the inside just like the way we did. We are going to be lining the both cups, we are going to be lining the both. So we are going to be repeating the same process. You get your midpoint, take out one from the edge and an edge, connect it to the midpoint. And you know we've already measured the length we are going to be using and the wideness we are going to be using. So we are going to be repeating the same thing we did for the first year. We're going to be sewing the tip. So I'm going to take it to the machine, sew and bring it back. So guys, I basically have run the stitch and I've done one cup. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I did. I'm going to do the other one. So this is how it's going to be when you line it. So there's an hemming gun at the tip. So you're going to be putting an hemming gun at the tip and you're going to iron. So I'm repeating the same process for the second cup. So you are going to be placing it like this too, but this time around you are going to be placing the front on it, because you know you are turning it, you run a stitch at the edge. So I'm going to go to the machine, run a stitch, then bring it back to show you guys how the outcome of it. So I'm just going to be pinning it now so that it won't shift or we'll start having any issue on the cup. So you just pin it down and take it to your machine and run a stitch on it. So I'm just going to be running a stitch then cutting out the edges. So when you run the stitch, you're going to be turning it like the way I'm turning it now on this video. Use it to face it, we are facing it, so use it to turn it then before you now sew round. So let me first join the first one, then turn it to the facing. So I'll be back guys. So I have run the stitch on it and I've actually turned it, so we are having the same thing. So guys, I put hemming gum on the edge, so we are just going to be using an iron to iron that part so that it's going to slip and not be coming out or puffing out. And so we are going to be putting our stay on our fabric. So I'm using a hair stay. So I'm going to be putting a stay on both the front and the back of the fabric. So I'm just going to be ironing, then bring it back to show you guys how it's going to be when it's ironed. So let me iron and bring it back. So guys, I have ironed them. I've ironed the front and also the back. So I'm just putting those signs to know which is the side so that you don't get confused. You can also do the way I'm doing, putting the sides on the body to know your side and to know the down so that you don't get confused, because they are looking alike, the sides are looking alike. So you put your mark. So now we're just basically going to use our bias on the front. So I'm going to be using this black interface to line in the clothes, and I've already cut out the pattern on it. So I'm using this black interface. So now I'm basically going to draft out the lines which the bias is going to be passing through So the midpoint firstly is where I'm going to take the first line before I take the other slanted lines at the sides. So I'm just going to be using my chalk to get those points before we place it. So to get the midpoint, it's best you iron it properly so that you don't make a mistake. Iron it because it will make it more easier. Then there's a bias running through the midpoint of the cup, so I'm just notching the midpoint to know where I'm going to be drafting out the lines. So from that midpoint, I'm going to be tracing a line down. So just the way I'm doing now. So I'm going to be tracing a line down, but I'm trying to make them equal, so I'm just going to be taking 2 inches from the down and connect it on both sides, and do the same for the other side too. Take out, I'm using 2 inches too for the other bias we're going to be putting there. So I'm just going to be drawing and doing the same for the other point too. So guys, we've actually drawn out the lines, the points you're going to. So I'm just checking if they are actually corresponding. So one won't be bigger than the other. So I'm just using my tape to know if they are accurate. So I'm going to be adjusting this one because this one is a little bit smaller than the other. So I've adjusted it. So on these lines is where we are going to be putting our bias. We're going to be placing our bias on each line. Then I'm going to be doing it before I place my cup on it. So I'm just going to be going to the machine, run the stitch on it, then pull the cup and use my interface lining to turn it, and I'll be doing the same for the back. So I'm just going to go to the machine, do it, and come back. So guys, I have done the lines. I've also placed the cup and also the lining. I've also put the lining for the front, and also we've also done the lining for the cup too. So see how beautiful it is, guys. So we are just going to be turning it, using our lining to turn it. We are going to we are going to join the edge of the front pattern, the front fabric. So I'm just going to take it to the machine, join it, and also do the same for the back of the dress. I'm going to be lining the back of the dress. So I'm just going to go to the machine, run the stitch, and bring it back to show the outcome of the dress. So guys, I have joined the side and I've also done the bias work on the back and also lining both the back and the front. So this is the outcome of how it is. You can see the finishing. It's so neat and so fine. So I've joined the sides already, and we are using a lace back. We are not going to be using an eyelet for the scalp and top. So we're using a lace back. So now we are basically going to do the sleeve of the dress. So I've actually cut out the length I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to create a channel which we can pass our elastic, like 1 inch channel to pass the elastic round. So I'm going to take it to the machine, run a channel of 1 inch so we could pass the elastic round on both edges. So I'm just going to go to the machine, do it, and come back to show you guys the outcome. So guys, I have done the channel already, so we are just going to be using the office pin to pass the elastic around the edges. So I've done for both sides, so I'm going to be using 1/2 inch elastic for this particular style. So I'm just going to be passing it just the way I'm doing it. So I'm going to be doing that off the camera, then join the sides before I attach it to my cup, to the top. So I'm going to join it to the top already. So let me go to the machine, do that, and come back to show you guys the outcome of the top.
Okay guys, so
guys, I have put the elastic round, attached it to my top already. So this is how beautiful it's coming out, like so beautiful. The finishing is so nice, everything is looking so good. So now I'm going to be making the rope which we are going to be using to lace the back. So I will do that and show you guys how it's going to be. So this is how it's going to be. Actually, it's fine if you follow the process I did. You're going to get this. It's not that hard. It's quite easy, and you can see how beautiful it is. So I've laced it, and this is how it is, guys. So beautiful, so very fine. So the sleeve, attached to the sleeve, everything is given and it's fine. So if you repeat this process, you will get it. So this is the outcome, how it looks. So fine, so neat, guys. So guys, please don't forget to like this video, comment, share, follow, and also subscribe for more videos like this, because we are going to be bringing more videos like this. Thank you so much, guys. I love you, and see you in my next video. Bye.